Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at 10 shocking facts about women. So these are some amazing and sometimes shocking facts about women, and some of these I had no clue about, but they're all backed up by scientific research. So guys, be sure to like the video and subscribe and comment I subscribed, and I'll try to reply to all of you. So, coming in at number 10, we have vaginal weightlifting. Do you even lift? No? Well, many women's vaginas do. That's right, there's actually a sport called vagina weightlifting. It's a muscle training exercise that uses the contraction of pelvic floor muscles to lift objects such as stones, weights, and sometimes even kettlebells. How it works is women use something called a vagina cone, which is an egg-shaped piece of plastic attached to a string, and on the other end of the string is a bag. Then in that bag you put stones, or just have weights without the bag if you're really good. The world record for vagina weightlifting is held by a woman named Titania Kozhevnikova, who deadlifted a 14-kilogram kettlebell with her vagina. Wow, all I can say is ouch. And the reason most women do this is to strengthen pelvic floor muscles for health reasons. However, a 2002 study found that vagina weightlifting had no significant advantages. But despite this, some people still believe in it and still do it. But coming up next, we have high heels. So when you think of high heels, you probably think of women. And I don't blame you, we see today's most prominent women wearing high heels the whole time. But I'm sure what most of you guys don't know is that when high heels were made in 1670, they were actually made for men. And if you think just a few olden days weird guys were going around in these, well no, they were only really worn by men who were rich landowners or kings. For example, Louis XIV, who had almost 200 pairs of high heels made. And even though they do look slightly different to a pair of Louboutins you might see in a store today, they are still very similar to the high heels that women wear right now. But coming up next, we have you were one. So this is going to blow your mind. And it may sound stupid to say at first, but this is scientifically proven. But you, me, your dad, your boyfriend, well, any man, was originally a woman. Because after you're conceived, something called a fetus is created, which is basically a miniature baby that hasn't fully developed yet. And in case you guys don't know, we all have two chromosomes, which are either X or Y. And if you have two of the same chromosomes, then you're a woman. And if you have two different chromosomes, then you're a man. Anyway, while you're being conceived in the fetus state, well, you do have two chromosomes, but they'll both be the same. It's actually 6 to 8 weeks later when your body will either stay with the two same chromosomes or will change to make you develop a penis and become a man. So every man ever was technically once a woman. Crazy, right? But coming up next, we have talking. So if any of you are women and you've got a boyfriend, husband, or male friend who complains about you talking too much, well, I just got you off the hook with this fact. Because it's scientifically proven that women do talk more than men. Women speak around 20,000 words per day and men speak around 7,000 words per day. Wow, either way, that's a lot. And there is actually a reason for women talking more, and that's that women have higher levels of FOX2 protein, which makes the brain more chatty. So yeah, girls, next time somebody tells you that you talk too much, you can tell them to shut up with science. But next up we have farts. So this one is kind of nasty. So when a guy passes gas, it doesn't smell nice. But it's scientifically proven that if a woman passes gas, it's supposed to smell even worse. But don't worry girls, it's not your fault. Because women's bodies have more concentrated sulfur. And odor judges, who are professional smellers basically, have confirmed that female farts have a noticeably worse odor compared to men's farts. And there's no exact reason why the concentration of sulfur in a woman's body is higher than a man's. It's just down to general gender makeup. But next up, we have affairs. So it's a common stereotype in films and people's views that men are more likely to have an affair. However, a recent study has shown that women are far more likely to have an affair than men. From a test including thousands of men and women, 7 in 10 females admitted that they would have an affair if they could get away with it, while just 2 in 10 men said that they would have an affair if they knew that they'd get away with it. And what's even more shocking is that a third of women claim to have had a minor indiscretion happen by accident because of flirting gone too far, which is basically code for minor cheating like kissing and maybe even other things. And I had no idea about this, so guys, watch out. And girls, watch out for those 2 in 10 men, because you never know. But coming up next, we have nightmares. So this isn't a good fact to learn if you're a woman, because research shows that women have far more nightmares than men, and they found out that even though men and women's behavior in dreams is pretty similar, most often they're helping other characters in the dream, but what happened in women's dreams was more about family members, negative emotions, and less physical aggression, while men's dreams were much more about sexual activity, such as sexual fantasies. But you may be asking, with women's dreams about family, how is family related to nightmares? Well, it's often worrying about family members, for example, losing a child or having your partner die, while men just dream about sex. I'm just kidding, obviously men have nightmares too, but women are apparently 72% more likely to have them than men. But next up we have more suicidal. So this is quite a sad fact, but it's also pretty shocking, so I had to include it. But it turns out that women are much more prone to suicide than men, 60% more likely in fact. And apparently a study where a psychologist interviewed many depressed women who had tried to commit suicide said women have pressures of not only being a successful woman, but also a successful mother. And women often have to leave work for their kids and they feel less engaged in day-to-day life. And their bodies also change a lot more and a lot faster than a man's body with old age. And women are often more vulnerable to shame, such as body image and other areas of life. And obviously not all women think these things, but these are the leading reasons why women commit suicide more than men. And unfortunately, the suicide rate for women 45 to 65 is up by 63%. And even more disturbingly, the suicide rate for girls aged 10 to 14 is up by 200%. But next up we have toilet use. So while most women sit on the toilet to do their business, the natural position for women to go to the toilet is actually different to men's. Because women have something called a puborectalis that men don't have. And because of this, it can actually choke the rectum and be bad for women's health. So the way women should naturally go to the toilet is by squatting, so that their puborectalis doesn't get crushed and the muscle is more relaxed. But obviously it's not always easy to squat to do your business, but it can help and allows women to straighten their rectum. But next up we have childbirth deaths. So this is another really concerning one because of how serious this is, but after giving you guys the facts on this one, I'll let you know how you can help. So I'm sure you guys know about women who die giving birth to children, and it used to be something that happened a lot in the Western world, but it rarely happens in the Western world now, so some people forget it happens at all. But did you know that every 90 seconds a woman dies from giving birth? Which means in the time you've been watching this video, 4 people have died from it. And this is usually in developing countries who don't have the proper medical equipment. And obviously this is a very sad statistic, so you guys can use this link to donate to help out. And no guys, this isn't a sponsor, I'm just letting you know in case you want to help out. And that just about wraps up this video. Check out the poll in the top right corner and you guys can vote for the most shocking fact. But as always, thanks for watching, check out some more videos on screen right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe.